Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shane R. Monroe here. Today, I promised we would be opening the Asus ROG Ally right here. It's still sealed. I haven't opened it. I've done nothing. So what I'm hoping for today is that we're going to get it open. We're going to go ahead and plug it in, set it up, see what it looks like, and we'll see what we have left for free time. I'd like to do about an hour. Uh, I don't have the chat up. I'm sorry. I wanted to have as much room for the actual unboxing as possible, but I will be watching the chat. Curious to see if Linux installed on this, just like Windows, can be on the deck. Um, it's possible. I think the problem is going to be having drivers for this thing for the Linux operating system. I'm going to go ahead and just crack the seal on this guy. I literally have not opened it. All day long, this has been sitting on my desk, waiting to be opened. The seals are still here. Let's go ahead and take a look together. Okay, we'll slide the box open. Here on the top, it looks like this is where they're telling you about how to use the stand. There's a plastic stand that comes with it, and this is it. I mean, when they talk plastic, they're not kidding. No video of mine would be complete without dogs barking, so I apologize. All right, I think we're done here, but we do have the stand. I'm just going to put all of that to the side. I don't think we're going to be looking at that very closely. All right, so here we go. Here's the unit itself, and it has more wrapping here. Let's see what we got going on. Pull. Okay, there we go. And slide out. I'm not a huge white fan. I've never been a huge fan of white in general. Come on. I don't want to oh, I see. It's wrapped around the joysticks. There we go. White tends to like gravitate towards fingerprints and dirt. Okay, so there's basically saying plug it in ASAP. Okay, enough of that. Here we go. Here's the unit itself. Let's just put this to the side for just a moment. We'll see what else is in the box. Inside the box we have, wow, I think that's a little bit bigger maybe than the Steam Deck's plug, but it's the same basic configuration. It's 65 watts, same USB-C. So technically these things are interchangeable, which is also great. I don't need this right now because I have a full setup going on, but I think that might be everything that's in the box. Oh, wait, what's in here? Manuals, standard stuff, warranty card, congratulations on your purchase, blah, 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 standard stuff. I don't think we're going to need any of that, so let's go ahead and stick this to the side too. And let's see, I'm running out of desk space here. Close enough. Okay. Here we go. Let's take a nice, good look at the unit itself. Here on the front, we have two, looks like forward-firing speakers, two analog sticks, the D-pad, 4 select or special buttons, along with, of course, the 4 face buttons. And these don't feel quite as clicky as the kiosk demo. These still feel pretty loose. That's unfortunate. There's color rings around the side. On the top, of course, we have headphone jack, SD card. This is your external GPU port. Volumes up and down, power, a couple of meter lights here. And then, of course, your fan blowing. Ooh, triggers are, I didn't really get a chance to play much with the triggers. The triggers are nice and tight. And then the bumpers, the bumpers are kind of deep. I don't know how comfortable that's going to be. Interesting. That's something to play with. I know it's really hard to see on camera, but the bumpers feel like they're lower, but they're not. They feel lower than the triggers. So when you got the trigger down, it's a lot higher to get there. I don't know how else to explain that. On the back side, we have one set of paddles. We have, of course, ventilation. Nothing much else to see. And on the bottom, absolutely nothing. Well, let's go ahead and let's see. I was trying to decide if I wanted to power this guy up a little bit by hand first, or if the stand's not cardboard. Sorry, I'm getting back to oh, wait a minute, maybe it is cardboard. Part of it feels like cardboard. Well, maybe it is. Yeah, so here's your stand. This is the high deluxe model piece of the stand right there. There you go. Wish it were black. Mine had 60% charge. Okay, cool. Always bet on black. Yes, thank you, Retro Demo Scene. That's fantastic. Do you ever play blackjack? Or not blackjack, roulette. Yeah, that's right. Maybe they make a black one, or you'll be able to buy shells for it. Who knows? All right, so let's go ahead and power it up and see what it looks like to begin with. I'm assuming a single tap will do the trick. Have to hold it maybe. Maybe mine's dead. Maybe mine's dead on arrival. No powering up at all. Tap, hold, double tap, nothing. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping it wouldn't be DOA, but you know, we can make do. We can make do. I will reroute my deck's power here. Maybe I can get this to come around. Let's see. That's probably enough. No? This is the charging port, I assume here. No? Okay. Sorry if that's not off camera a little bit. The cord's a little bit short. There we go. And there we go. Now we got a charge light. So let's give this just a moment. I'll take a look at the chat. Let's see. Hey now. Hey, Chris. Yeah, the stand is some sort of thin stuff. It's basically packing material, not a proper stand. Follow Shane back in the IRC days. Your name is familiar. Yeah. Good stuff. Way, way long time ago. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we've got enough juice here to at least power it on while it... There we go. Nice. Okay. You see how we're looking on the camera there. Okay, so I'm not very much in love with RGB lighting, but we'll get rid of that. That's easy enough. You can turn it off. The screen is coming up and booting. It's black, which is nice. I will tell you that I do have a little bit of light bleed on my deck, and this does not appear to have any bleed whatsoever, which is definitely a plus in its department for sure. So I'm assuming first boot. So I'm not going to take this as indicative of the boot cycle itself. We will simply let it do its thing, and with lower power, who knows what it's going to do. Okay, so here we go. Let me see if I can get a little more volume here. Probably won't be able to hear it over the mic anyway. Probably doesn't matter. Okay, let's see what happens here. We'll go ahead and just let it finish its thing. Let's see. Take a look at the chat. Hey, Frostbeard. Yeah, you arrived just in time. Okay, here we go. So select the boot drive. That's interesting. That is some small text, my friends. See if you can take a look at that. Sorry, the camera is not behaving at all for that. That text is really, really, really small. Wow, okay. That's what you get for 1080p. Okay, the mouse is controlled by the left analog or the right analog. Looks like either way. Interesting. If you do both of them at the same time, it's faster. I don't know if I like that or not. That's actually kind of cool. All right. So let's go ahead. I assume A will select the Windows Boot Manager, and we'll let it get started. That's really interesting. I never would have thought to accelerate the cursor by using both sticks instead of just one. Interesting. I'm sure we're going to have all sorts of interesting things here with this device as we go through it. Oh yes, I'm sorry, my deck is appearing in the pop-up window there. My goal is to plug this Ally into my Steam Deck dock. That way I get access to HDMI, I get access to power, and I get access to a keyboard and mouse, which I have a feeling we're going to need very soon. Okay, so this is all standard Windows hooty hoo that we're watching here. No big deal. There's our good old Windows logo. I heard the Windows boot. And okay, so this looks like your fairly standard Windows 11 setup. So we'll go ahead and we'll... What's up?
I don't know, I'm crashing your stream.
Don't crash my stream. Right keyboard is US. No second keyboard layout. Okay, so connecting to a network. So my goal here is to not log in with a Microsoft account if humanly possible. So let's see if I can do that if I still choose a network. So I will go ahead and grab... You know what? Yeah, that's fine. I'll do Wi-Fi. We'll connect automatically. I will enter my key off screen. Not that it probably matters. You're probably wondering what happens when you touch it. What sort of a keyboard comes up? I'm sorry, this is totally blowing out on the picture. Let me see if I can do anything to help that. Yeah, it's so bright. You can't really see. And I apologize. So there's a keyboard down here at the bottom. That is crazy how that's blowing out. And not much I can do about it. I'm sorry. So I'll go ahead and enter the key. Okay, the keyboard appears to work okay. We're gonna have to get this into direct feed. I don't know how much longer because you guys can't see anything. Dude, that was totally the right key. All right, let's take a moment here. Let me see if I can go ahead. I'm gonna pull the power. I'm gonna put it into my change places here. Put the Ally here, USB-C in here, and let's see what happens. Let me flip over. There we go. Nice. Let's flip over to my other screen. Hey, that looks better. All right, let me put my deck to the side. God, I really have no place anywhere to put anything. All right, much better. Okay. Yeah, you couldn't see it anyway. That's fine. So now I can use the keyboard. Probably go a lot better anyway. Okay, let me see if I can. There we go. Not that you're going to be able to probably see much, but that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's okay. We have direct feed. Everyone can see the direct feed. Got real blurry all of a sudden. Wait. What happened there? Hang on a second. Let me go over to the chat. The system won't boot first time unless it's plugged in, even though it's got a charge. Same thing happened to me. Well, that's what I get probably for not reading instructions. This probably says it right here. Plug in and then power on. There you go. So read the instructions. I will be your guinea pig. Okay, so now I should have a mouse, which I don't appear to have, which is weird. It's lit. So, okay, that's fine. We can use the touch screen for now. Hit next. And we have updates. Yay. Here it was running, but you wouldn't know it. Yeah, no kidding. Direct feed looks good, Chris. I mean, it looks good on my preview window, but you know, you never know. Yeah, this is great. So what I've got in here right now is the Bamboo Bee. I love that name. I cannot say that name enough. The Bamboo Bee dock for the Steam Deck, $20. Amazon Prime overnight shipping, $20. Works fantastic. I've been using it as my main Steam Deck dock for weeks, months, I think at this point, and it has proven to be absolutely fantastic. So I highly recommend taking a look at that. It appears it'll even work great, providing the mouse ever shows back up. Shows up great for the Ally as well. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do Windows updates all night now. Let's see what we got here. Deck had an odd thing too. You held it down, you got a beep and then a black screen. Until the logo finally came up. Direct feed is fine. The Windows install didn't have much on it other than Office. Throw Norton on there. Yeah, thanks. I'm really curious though why we have no mouse. I find that particular. Okay. I'm using my switch box here for my mouse and keyboard. Maybe if I flip it now, it'll pick it up. No, it's still churning, unfortunately. So I guess we have a few minutes. That's sort of the problem with doing these unboxes and doing them live is you have no idea what to expect when you do this as a recording. Of course, you can trim this down and say how much time elapsed, but in cases like this, we have to just sit here. Let's see. All the Windows updates happen in one reboot cycle. It'll all install that one time. Pro tip, hold the left back button up and down. Wait. What's this? Hold left back button and up on the D-pad for the keyboard. Okay. The keyboard came up when I asked for it, which is something that the Steam Deck doesn't always do. So hopefully this actually does start in tablet mode. We'll see. Boy, this thing is just taking its own sweet time. I wish it would like say that it's downloading the updates or, you know, parsing or something. It literally looks like it's just sitting here spinning. The left back button and down is task manager. Left is desktop mode. Cool. Yeah, I like having shortcuts. And I heard that this had that. I figured I would figure those out on my own. None of these buttons do anything. Let me see what kind of heat we got coming out of this guy. Not a ton, honestly. It's fairly cool. But it's got the anti-gravity cooling, right? What is it called? Something like that. Gravity force cooling. I don't know. Whatever it was. Insert industry standard buzzword here. How about that? Okay. Well, we're still waiting here. I'm sorry for the dead space. I mean, nothing I can do about waiting for an update here, unfortunately. Yeah. Again, I wish I had a mouse. Oh, here we go. Making sure you have the latest. Oh, at least it changed the screen. It did take it a while, though. So if you're watching this in anticipation of getting your own Ally, obviously this process takes a while, and it's not super indicative of what's going on. But it does. Now, I haven't installed Windows 11 Fresh in a long time. This feels customized to me. Does anybody who's on the channel, on the chat right now, can you corroborate whether or not this is still what 11 looks like? Because it feels a little bit different to me. Do I have a mouse yet? No. All right. Software and license agreement. Sell your firstborn to Microsoft. Got it. Yada, yada, yada. Asus notice. We also get your firstborn with a secondary lease with an option to buy. Let's name your device. Shane's Ally. Why not? Easy peasy. Still nothing? Okay. Next. Oh. All right. Well, just Ally. Next. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. So, Siljeff, is this pretty much what you've seen? I mean, this is indicative of the whole process then? Yeah, I didn't get asked for a Microsoft account yet. That's kind of cool. They haven't asked me to customize Cortana. It hasn't asked me to do anything. So this is definitely a stripped down version, which means I'm going to need a recovery image, and I'm assuming Asus has one. Or it's still coming, right? Maybe they just changed the boot order. It's obviously branded, which is kind of cool. I mean, I would hope to God it wasn't just stock Windows or it'd be a complete nightmare. Okay. So we're still coming up here. Ah, now comes the fun part. Do I get a mouse, though? Ah, here we go. Here's where the beg comes in. Sign in to your Microsoft account. And I do not see any possible way of getting out of it. Which is, oh, wait. Oh, I do have a mouse pointer. It was just, it vanishes quickly. Can you guys see it any? Oh, yeah, you can see it a lot better on there. It must just be the display that kind of makes it hard to see. Okay. I don't have any choice. Signing in must be done. So obviously my first goal with this device over the course of the next week while I'm playing with it is to figure out how to get this to work off a local account because I do not want a Microsoft account. Let's see, maybe I can do this here. No account, create one, sign in options. Maybe I can do nothing. Sign in with a security key, forgot my username. I knew I shouldn't have put in my, I shouldn't have, let's see, anything tiny down here? Learn more. Blah, blah, blah. I'll probably have to use one of the accessibility tricks or something to get this to work. So in the meantime, I will have to use my burner account. I have no idea what my password is, but it can't be on screen, so. God, this has been forever. I probably should have looked this up ahead of time.
Hi, stream. I'm interrupting. Here's your food.
That's okay. Just
you don't want it now?
not right now. Thanks.
Wow.
Sorry.
He's starving himself.
No, just trying to get this done.
Streamers, you see it.
Man, I have no idea what my password is. I may have to look it up. All right, hang on. Sorry for the interruption here. I was really hoping I could get around that, but apparently I cannot. So give me just a second. Of course, I've got like a bajillion accounts for work. All right, let me take a peek here. Yeah, I would have never got that, so I'm glad I looked it up. Complicated. Okay, protect my info. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. You turned on two-step. We need to verify your identity. Yada, yada, yada. I guess we'll use email. God, I hate the validation of Microsoft. Oh, by the way, you get my Gmail account. Congratulations. You can spam me. All right, let me see if I can get a code. Doo-doo-doo. You know, and a lot of times, you know, I think a lot of people that are doing unboxing and doing these sort of setups are probably hiding all of this stuff from you, right? So you never, that's one of the things I really like to do on this channel is make sure that you guys get to see everything. Every little hurdle I might have reached, any sort of problems. And so we're sharing that as we go. Let me see. Where is the chat? It'll ask you forever. Cortana's dead. I actually just have a Steam Deck. Windows 11 Home. I think you need Pro not to use an account. That may be true. So we'll be try Shift F10 on the keyboard to skip the Microsoft account. Well, too late now, right? Okay, so fingerprint setup. I think this is one of the things that I talked about that I thought was kind of okay. I'm not a huge, like, super secure person on my handhelds. Probably should be, especially if it's running Windows, right? And so one of the things is typing in codes or doing two-factor. Biometrics are actually really cool, and especially if you can use your fingerprint. And in this case, the power button is the fingerprint reader. So presumably you would power it on and authenticate at the same time. So I'm going to set it up so you guys can see it. Touch the power button, repeatedly rest and lift your finger until setup is done. My sensor is clean. It's brand new. Samsung is better at this. Just letting you guys know. This worked a lot easier on my phone. My sensor's clean. Maybe my finger's not. No, finger's clean. It wants more of a full push on it. I guess it wants more coverage. Try another angle. Well, this isn't annoying at all, but that's okay. At least you guys can see it. Okay, cool. All right. Next. Set up a pin. Oh, you're kidding me. Lord Almighty. Gots to be secure. Okay. Back we go. All right. Choose privacy. No, you can't have my location. I don't want my device found. I don't want any diagnostic data. Please don't help me with anything because this is all gathering my data. No, 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 no. Okay, support and protection. Yeah, I really don't want that address used. Okay. Provide my email and serial number for Asus. I'm fine with that. Protect my email. Asus to receive mails and notifications. Nah. I'll take a pass on that. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, let's customize your experience. No, thank you. Go away. No. I could go through this whole bit. This is basically like link my phone. I do use it from time to time on my desktop, but I don't see a reasonable reason to use it here. Okay, we're giving you free trial of Microsoft 365. Keep it. You can have your cloud storage too. What else do you want to offer me that I don't want? Wah, wah. Okay, checking for updates again. Cool. All right, back to the chat. It's Windows 11 Home, Pro not to use an account. No, I don't think that's true actually. I think that, but it's not going to just give it to you. You have to work for it. Rufus doesn't support it anymore. Yeah, keep an old version of Rufus around. I think 3.21 or 20. That's the Rufus you want to have around, and then of course keep the newer versions. Do I need to put on Malwarebytes? Nope. I do not. I am a big Malwarebytes fan. I do run it on all of my home computers, but I'm not using this like a computer. I'm using this as a video game device. So if I were going to browse the web and browse questionable places or go ROM hunting or something like that, yeah, I would put something on here. But frankly, not going to happen. I'm going to stay away from this device as a computer as much as possible. Can you imagine that? Office on a handheld? How much fun would that be? Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're back into a waiting status here. So what do I mean? So far, so good. I mean, obviously I'm going to need time to adjust, and that's fair. I've been using the Steam Deck for a long time. Let's see. Let's do a little comparison check here while we're just sitting here waiting. Okay, so definitely from a size perspective, obviously it's probably a little a little more fitting. Still pretty thick though. I mean, you could argue that it's so much smaller than the Steam Deck, but it kind of isn't, honestly. I mean, measuring it up here, total footprint. No, not really. It's not that much smaller. From a weight perspective, though, a little bit. But it's not the night and day thing I was kind of hoping for. I was kind of thinking that you would pick this up and it'd feel like a Switch. It'd be so light. But yeah, it is lighter, but it's not like you're going, oh my God, now this is so heavy, I can only use this. No, it's not that way at all. Not that way at all. Not as much fun as Office on a VR headset. And yet, our good old buddy Zuckerberg would have liked to have had us running Office and Visual Studio inside of a headset. Ugh. So glad VR is not taking off. Ugh. Yeah, I will say, though, from a overall screen quality, you can definitely see a difference, right? And you can't really see it unless we put things up face to face, but let me wipe this screen down so I don't hear any nonsense about my fingerprints, because I will, at least a couple of you. Oh, look, I see Javier's bored of the thread here, the video, so he's playing Call of Duty. Probably smart move. Let me get this thing fired up, Javi, and I'll join you on the on the Ally. I don't know what's going on with my deck. Let me just bring it back up. Seems like we have a minute anyway. Almost there. I could be queuing and playing right now, waiting for. Oh, there we go. Oh, good. The Windows 11 menu. Woo woo. All right, now it's time for us to see what sort of nonsense. Let me open up a echoed screen. We'll keep this down here for now. Let me open up an echoed screen of the Ally here. Am I not getting my other screen? Ah, there we go. Okay, so now I can see it very, very well. Use the mouse and keyboard. Okay, so what do we have installed? I'm expecting to see surprises in here, to be honest with you. What we have here is Edge, no surprise. Word and Excel, boy, those can go like ASAP. Mail, photos, my Asus, that's okay. Armoury Crate, Dolby Access, Xbox. A lot of stuff I'd expect to see. Boy, I'd lose a lot of weight since that picture, or what? Wow. Poor Lindsay Wagner and Lee Majors had to get the fat shame. How about that? Let's see, AMD software, Instagram, Prime Video, tons of stuff that we're going to be nuking here very, very soon, but not for today. Your device is optimized for touch. Now, this is something I think a lot of people wanted to see, is what's the touch screen like? Okay, Deck, get out of here. You can have you get a different show. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay, so you'll see how to do this after you've updated Windows. Swipe up for taskbar shortcuts from the bottom of the screen. Swipe up at the center to reveal the start menu, quick settings, blah, blah, blah. So you can see that it is collapsed here. There you go, a little flick up there. That's pretty standard. Stay up to date with a swipe. Swipe in from the right to see your notifications. Again, this should be nothing that freaks anybody out. Next. Arrange your apps. To resize your apps, place your finger at the top of the window and drag it anywhere on the desktop, or drag it to the top of the screen to see snaps. I'm not going to do that because we all know what that looks like. Okay, enough of that. Okay, and so what you're seeing, of course, is a feed from HDMI. So what we really should probably be concentrating on here, very loud, got to loosen this arm a little bit, should probably be paying attention to what it looks like on this screen. Lots of very tiny fonts, that sort of thing. People that were complaining about not being able to see things on the deck, this should feel right at home for you. Right now we're being prompted to take a look at Armoury Crate, so we're going to go there next. First use of Armoury Crate. We are initializing the core services. Now, I will tell you right now, I am no fan of Armoury Crate. I do have a Republic of Gamers Asus desktop, and frankly, Armoury Crate and a lot of the other Asus nonsense just had to go. But this apparently is central to the whole experience, so we're probably not going to get anything out of this. Get away from anything in here. Collect your anonymous information, information associated with your usage, blah, blah, blah. Probably pretty standard boilerplate stuff. Welcome to Armoury Crate. variety of customization for your device. Okay, so download all your favorite games from various platforms. Okay, so here's the money shot, people. All of these, all of these third-party lockers that you have been struggling with on the deck, easy peasy lemon squeezy here. This is probably on the top 3 or top 5 selling points of the Ally. Not having to play hokey pokey with EA or Ubisoft. And they'd be right. Let me move my chat into another window so I can actually follow along here. Let me pop this out so I can see that on the other screen. Let's see. I'm just messing with you, Javier. I'm just messing with you. I just thought it was funny that the second I started doing something, I saw that you were playing Call of Duty. It just cracked me up. Okay, so, all right, next. Manage all your games in a single library. Now, that's not a bad thing at all. Now, on the Steam Deck, really you only have one library, your Steam library. And inside your Steam library are launchers to EA or launchers to Ubisoft or launchers to Battle.net. So you still kind of have it all in one library. But I understand that if you have a model where you have access to these stores and you can get to them easier, that this makes more sense. I would also like to point out that if you dislike Armoury Crate that much, GOG Galaxy Client also does the same thing. It will ingest games from various sources, various digital lockers, and bring them all into one interface. And frankly, I'll probably like it more than Armoury Crate, but it's nice to see that it's here. Customize your shortcuts, analog sticks, triggers, and vibration settings to your unique taste. One of the things that I'm hoping for is that the Ally will have better haptics than the deck. Listen, it's got haptics, but it's not a lot. I don't suspect this will either, but there's some times playing Overwatch or something where I should be feeling a feedback that I'm used to when I play on the desktop that I don't get on the deck. I'm hoping that I'll be able to dial this up a little bit or in a little bit to make it work right for me. This app has an odd bug. You'll install games and they won't appear until you go to content and then back. Great. Thank you for the warning. Appreciate that. Quickly access handy features. Press the Command Center button. Command Center. I like that. And press Armoury Crate to open and close Armoury Crate. Fair enough. And we hope this tutorial was helpful. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so out of the box, here's what we got. We've got Moving Out, which I'm assuming is sort of a freebie demo. I don't know anything about it. Steam, of course, is pre-installed, and Xbox. But what does Xbox mean exactly? Is this the Xbox Live streaming app or what? What is this? Okay, so this is the Xbox interface, which probably Game Pass, all sorts of other stuff is in here. So we're just going to let this go ahead and do its thing. This is the quote Xbox app. Okay. All right, we're gonna put this away for now. I'll take my free 3 months and I'll probably play it once at best on a video somewhere. So I will sign in to claim it, just not right now. All right, back to Armoury Crates. So let's take a look at the buttons here. We were told that the Command Center is up on. Okay, so this must not be the Command Center button. Okay, there's Command Center button. Command Center is the diamond, and the View button or window toggle brings you back to Armoury Crate apparently, or I don't know, maybe that's a back button. I don't know what it's doing. Toggling views, I guess. All right, fair enough. And then there's the Command Center. We're going to go back to that in just a minute. Let's see what else we have here in the crate first. Gaming library settings. Okay. So performance mode, game visuals, there's so many things, and we're going to uncover all of these over the course of the next couple of weeks. We're going to do all of this for you. We're going to look at each and every one of these, how they work, what you need to change, why you should change it, what this does, what that does, what you should and should not have in the Command Center. We're going to get there. For now, I just wanted you to see it and know what it does and how it works. We do have a notification, and this, okay, so this actually looks like it's tied to Windows 11 notifications, which is fine. I don't think I need anything else there. My time is wrong, though. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll fix that. And then what's this? The User Center. Oh, okay, so this is where you get service. I will have to probably log in. There's probably some sort of updates that are tied to this, and then go bye-bye. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go bye-bye. We're going to close the Armoury Crate for now. And the first thing we're going to do is adjust that date and time setting. All right. Setting date and time is automatic, and we are AZ. All right. So now it's saying it's still 8:37. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go off and on. There we go. 5:36. Perfect. Okay. Now we got the time set up. Obviously, there's tons. I got to get rid of this picture. Good Lord, I was a big dude. All right. Okay, so we've taken a look at that. Let's take a peek at what else might be different from the Windows 11 that you know and love. Here's your sys tray, Bluetooth devices. What other sort of nonsense is running in the background, right? Teams. Okay, there's absolutely no reason that Teams should even be installed on this machine. I am displeased with this. So we're going to turn that off. What's this guy? Armoury Crate's audio mode for video recording. We recommend you select the high quality mode. That's cool. OneDrive, I don't need that either, so you can go away too. We've got some culling to do later tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, not too bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up the taskbar, or the task manager, and we're going to see what's actually set to start up. Teams is set to start up. That's going to go away. Cortana is here but disabled. OneDrive, we're going to disable that. Radeon, we're going to keep that. That's your video driver software. Security, health, sys-tray, fine. Terminal, app services. Okay, good. So perfect. So now we've already managed to cull down some of the nonsense that might be booting. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Make sure you do all the BIOS and firmware upgrades in my Asus, AMD, Armoury Crate, SC, and Windows. Sometimes it requires restart. It will make your performance better. Sure. All good stuff. Standard Windows protocol for anybody. Let's see. What else do we have here? Why is this turned sideways? I guess it's just the way the camera's set up here. Maybe make that a little bit better. Uninstall Teams. Yeah, that's so great. I don't understand why Teams would be there. So one of the things that I said was, so a lot of people were saying, well, how do they make such a top-end piece of hardware so cheap? Now we're going to start learning. It's Microsoft subsidized, right? Microsoft is paying them to have this stuff in here, or they're throwing them a free Windows license, something. We'll probably never know exactly what the backyard dealings are with this, but that's usually pretty much close to the truth. So we still have the Xbox app here. I'm going to leave this up here to remind me later. What do we got here? Let's take a look at this. Welcome to my Asus. This is one of the things that we were reminded by MC Waller there to check out. I agree. Let's see. You're going to steal all my information. You're going to log everything that I do. Great. Thank you. Okay. I believe I am already an Asus member. So let's see what we got here. Is that it? All right. I'm going to have to look this one up too. Something I just don't log into enough to make this useful. So let's take a look. I probably used a generic password. Let me take a peek here. That's not going to help me, is it? Edit item. Oh, that's what it says my password is. Okay. Maybe I just fat fingered it. Let's hope I'm right. Register my product. Let's go. All right. Well, my password's obviously changed. Let's go ahead and make this happen. Edge. I don't want any up-to-date browsing nonsense. Fine. Help you import? No. Just go away. I'll have Brave on here within the hour. So grody. All right. So let's see. Let's see. Forgot your password. That's so weird. I don't like interfaces that do that. All right. Maybe I don't have an account. Although LastPass says I do. Okay. So let's go check it out. I'm sorry about this. These are the sorts of things that you have to be ready for when you're doing something. Let's see. Reset your password. Click here. I must have had to reset it to get into my router or something one time. That's the only thing I can think of, but we'll fix this. I have a verification code? Where? Interesting. Verification code error. Was I supposed to get another? Oh, okay. Hey, helps if you actually read. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. That's not going to work, is it? Again, sorry for the hokey pokey nonsense here. Okay. All right. Back to login. All right. Now things should be a little bit better. Okay. Switch mice. Switch screens. Switch mice. All right. Everything should be good now. Excellent. All right. So, welcome to Asus Switch. Okay. System diagnostics, recovery, backup and restore. Update Asus to the latest version. Okay, good. 1 year access to Glide X Pro. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and restart. I don't know if I need Glide X Pro. Do I need Glide X Pro channel? Oops, I covered up all of my windows. Let's see. All right, let's see. Same stock windows. Let's see. Is it 11 Enterprise Pro or Home? It's Home. And I'm not sure what it is out of the box. Let me see what we can do about that. Oh, good God. I don't know the Windows 11 interface at all. Let's see. Boy, I can't wait to get all this stuff off of here. Man, what happened to like the actual menu? Oh, it's because the start menu's over here now. Duh. Okay. It's just under About still. Okay, you can go away now. Lord. Did I mention that I really don't like Windows 7? Okay. Where the hell is it? Windows specifications. Okay, 22H2 build. There you go for those who need to see it. Okay. That's done. So why is this still here? Ugh, that's going to go. I can't wait. Start 11's going on here in like 2 seconds, and it's going to be out the door. Bang, bang, boom, it's gone. All right, so back in here we go. We had an update. All right. Deliver, please update your Asus control system interface. Updating. I mean, listen, there's a lot going on here and there's a lot to do, but they're guiding you through it pretty well, which is something I didn't really expect being based on Windows. So Asus has gone a few extra miles here to try to make this as pain-free as possible. Also, I am wired at this point because I am plugged into my Steam Deck dock. So I am on Ethernet right now. So for those of you who are wondering how come mine's taking so long to update when Shane's didn't, that's probably because I'm wired up to 1 gigabit and you're probably on, maybe 5G Wi-Fi. Definitely could be a difference. Link to my Asus. Turn on Bluetooth and transfer files. No, I don't. I really don't want your cloud service. I will take care of my own. Oh, there's McAfee. Wasn't somebody talking about that in the channel earlier? So great. Okay, your device needs to be updated. So we have BIOS upgrade, firmware tool, screen manager. This is the BIOS installer tool, it looks like. Upgrade it all. Let's see how it goes. We also, it looks like we have a few that are optional as well, which we'll also check out. Are we going? Is it, what you doing? So every now and then I'm looking down and looking at the screen too, because right now you've got a feed from my Elgato and I've also got the same feed up in a giant screen in front of me. So every now and then I've got to kind of look back down here and see what this looks like. And honestly, the screen is clear. I know you can't see it. I'm sorry you can't see it really well. But the screen is very crisp. I will tell you that. The screen is very crisp. The letters, while small, are easy to read. And that's not something I was sure that was going to be the case. So once again, I'd love to have some sort of a visual indicator that something's going on, because I'm not seeing anything. Normal people are going to just wonder and think that something went wrong and maybe close out or do something else crazy. So while that's happening, this is our Windows updates, it looks like. Let's take a peek at that while the other one's going on. So as you would expect, look at that. Tons of, this is probably why the other thing's taking so long. It is busy downloading the cumulative updates. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could take a snapshot and show you why Steam Deck, one reason why Steam Deck is better than the Ally, it's this upgrade screen. And get used to seeing this because you're going to see it 2 or 3 times a month. Okay, update your firmware. It will be disabled. Keep your device plugged in. Okay, I'm game. Let's go ahead and bring everything down, and we'll hit update. We'll see what happens. I updated everything in Windows Update first. Most of that stuff is in there. That's good to know. Okay, so what the viewer is saying is that if you go to Windows Update and do those updates and then come back here, maybe you'll have less to update. Okay, yeah, I think that's what 6Layer is saying. So that's good to know. Although for things like firmware and stuff, I would probably rather have Asus doing it than Microsoft. That's personal preference. Let's see what else there might be different down here. Obviously, the Microsoft Store is here, which for some of you is going to be a huge check in the pros column, because yes, some people actually own Gears of War 5 on the Steam Store, on Microsoft Store, and they would like to get it back for free without having to buy it again. So, best to fully update Windows first. It'll all happen in one reboot. Cool. I don't know if the firmware is going to make me reboot or not. I'm just going to let this thing slide and glide. So for those of you who don't, I mean, look at all the stuff that's in here. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's a lot of culling that has to go on here. For those of you who maybe tuned in a little later, why doesn't my mouse wheel work? That's interesting. I would have thought that would have worked. Okay, well, that's fine. Lots of stuff to get rid of here. Lots of stuff to get rid of. Actually, it's a little better than I thought it would be, honestly. I think my Samsung device came with more bloatware than that. But, you know, listen, once you install all this other Microsoft stuff, there might be more bloatware. Lots of things to update, as you can see here. Then Armoury Crate is update 2 next to after everything else that's essential. Yeah. So we got a lot of updating to do. So while we're here, we might as well, well, maybe I better not do anything while the firmware is upgraded. We'll let that one ride on its own. So one of the things and you probably can't see it. I don't know where my preview screen is. Let me see. I need like 5 monitors to run these things. It's hard to see, but on my large monitor in front of me, and this is a 32-inch monitor, there is definitely what do they call that? When the fonts kind of ghost a little bit. It comes and it goes. So I think it'll depend on what the app is and stuff like that. So if you're thinking about this is going to be my main PC, there may be some things that you'll want to dial in if you're going to use this as a Windows desktop as well as a mobile Windows gaming device, because they are slightly mutually exclusive in some cases. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is desktop switcher, and then we got their stupid chat, their useless file manager, their useless browser. Yeah, a lot of things can go. But again, I'm going to wait until the firmware's upgraded. I'm itching to just like gut this thing. But I don't want to gut it until you guys get to see everything. So we'll hang out here for a little while and watch it go. So this is good warning, right? I mean, Steam Deck did, to be totally honest, when you turned it on, it went through an update process. Some people had problems with the Wi-Fi. That's not across the board, but some people have mesh networks that it doesn't seem to like. The Oculus Quest was the same way. But from power on to installing your first game on the Steam Deck, a lot shorter, right? You turned it on, you walked through the setup, which was a couple of minutes. You downloaded the update, another 3 or 4 minutes, and then you rebooted, it installed, you signed into Steam, and you're done, right? So there's definitely more to do here, I guess is my point. But again, who cares, right? I'm going to set it up once, then I'm going to forget about it. The problem is, as most of us know, Windows is the gift that keeps on giving, sort of like herpes. Okay, so now let's see. What were we going to do when that was all said and done? We were going to go see the update will continue after restarting your computer. So I'm not going to get away without a restart, apparently. What was under latest? Lots of drivers and stuff. So we probably, oh, wait, nope, I don't, see, we'll continue to update. Device is not at risk. No, we won't close that. Let's go ahead and leave that running, and let's see what Windows is up to here. Looks like everything's downloaded. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and install all from here. And as the chat room mentioned, maybe a lot of the updates. We got done with the firmware. That was the scary stuff, in my opinion, because that's easy enough to bork. But let's see what we got going on here with the updates. I mean, obviously, the better computer that you have, the faster updates tend to go. Let's take a look at the task manager once again. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's look under the performance tab for those of you who are geeking out, wanting me to get into something a little more grubby. You see here what's going on in terms of the threads counts, processes, all that good stuff. And let's be honest, Windows is a pig. It's always been a pig. And our goal here in the coming weeks is going to be how to streamline this machine to be considerably leaner. Maybe, well, I don't think we're going to install a completely new operating system, but we might upgrade to Pro. Okay, so it says it's installing. Pending restart, completed. That's interesting that it says it's still installing, but it says I should restart. All right, let's restart. We'll pick up the rest of it in just a minute. All right, let's go back. Let me go back to the chat while we're in some downtime here. Let's see. Sorry, I got distracted. You know, shiny things. Let's see here. By default, but secure boot, of course, is on. Is the Allied BitLockered? Not by default. Secure boot, we might take that. This is, yeah, pretty much. This is the time to play that Steam Deck, right? I could be queuing for a match in Overwatch right now, while I'm waiting for this thing to upgrade, right? Yeah. So the BitLocker is a good question, right? Because you are going to take a performance hit, of course, in the name of security. These sort of things happen. Some people it's good to go, some people not. But I guess basically, you know, the long and short of it is you're getting all of the negatives of a handheld system, right, along with the negatives of Windows. So that's sort of that's the Ally crutch piece of the equation. Whereas Steam Deck, now listen, this is ridiculous. Windows updates are absolutely ridiculous. And again, Steam Deck, I would have been playing games by now. So that's a good point, Chris, that you make, is it's going to take you a while to actually get to the point where you're actually playing anything. I could see people, honestly, running out to Best Buy, grabbing one of these things for a car ride or a plane trip or something like that, turning this guy on and realizing they really can't do jack for about an hour. I don't know how long we've been at this, almost an hour. And I don't think we're anywhere close to being done yet, right? Now, granted, there's a whole bunch of these things you probably could have waited on. I could have probably opened Steam right up and put Vampire Survivors on, and I could have been playing that already. But if you want to put the machine in a state of readiness, right, before you go on the trip, this is what you're doing. Windows jank is expected initially with all the updates, but on the bright side, once you're done with the one-time setup, you should be good to go. Yeah, and listen, I mean, that's totally fair. The question is, how often do we have to do this? Windows 11 has been a lot better about the frequency of upgrades, the you know, not destructive nature, but forcing a reboot, that sort of thing. That's legit. I mean, Windows 11 has been better. Solitaire was built in. Yeah, I could have been playing that. Yeah, that's exactly what I look at this Ally as. It's a laptop without a keyboard or a mouse, right? Or, you know, I guess kind of you got a mouse. My point though is the Ally is the handheld for people who wanted a laptop to begin with, but were trying to justify buying a Steam Deck instead. And that market is out there. I've said it before. I'll say it again. There are people that the Ally is going to be a 100% better product for them than the Steam Deck. They got the Steam Deck because they wanted a portable device, and they wanted a powerful laptop or PC for a pittance of the price. They weren't there to actually play any games. They just want to hook up a Ukrainian chain gun to it, or a 3D printer or something. They're not actually looking to play games. This is going to do that for you. The Ally is going to be your ally. Let's see. Hi there. If it's taking you over an hour to do this, it'll take much longer for the average consumer. That's a fair point too. It is fair to say that I know my way around Windows. I'm going to presume, okay, we're going to presume for the sake of the channel and argument, that people buying an Ally already have at least a familiarity with Windows. The question is, do they have a familiarity with Windows 11? Now, we chugged through this all pretty quickly, right? We chugged through the Asus upgrades. We chugged through the Windows upgrades. But Arioka, is that how you pronounce that? Arioka is right. The average person is going to have to dawdle around a little bit. And by the way, I don't want to stress this too much, but I got a mouse and keyboard attached to this thing from the moment it booted up. If you're doing using a touch screen to log into this and log into that and all that stuff, you also have to put time in over that too. So that's fair. The issue could be quality of the hardware. I feel like this may not be as robust as the deck. Deck is built like a tank. That's something, Javier, we're going to find over time. I'm going to have to hold it. Listen, you can't make snap judgments like this. You got to go in the field with it. It's got to go to my couch. It's got to go to Vegas. It's got to go on a trip with me. It's got to jostle around in my backpack. It needs some vigor. Oh, well, okay. So I lost my Elgato signal completely, but if you tune into the smaller screen, Easy Flash Utility will allow you to update the latest version of the... Boy, you got to squint hard. So yes, we're going to go ahead and say yes. My mouse did work until I clicked yes, and then it stopped. Okay, here we go. Let me bring up the preview because I know this camera's a little tilted. Okay, let me see here. Boy, this camera's not wanting to play nice. Here, let me see if I can force it to track. A little bit better. Yeah, so we got a BIOS upgrade going here now. Boy. So why this is a little bit different than my regular videos is I'm using my rather expensive Sony camera as a video source versus a recorder. And so essentially I've got the video, I got a micro HDMI cable running out of this thing into a cam link, and it is providing the video. But the video that you get over HDMI on this camera is nowhere nearly as good as what it's recording. So that's that is a problem of my own that I'll have to deal with if I'm going to do more live stuff. Because I was almost going to cancel this thing because I didn't feel like the quality was up to snuff, and I don't want that. So here's your BIOS upgrade, which, by the way, flashing BIOS and flashing hardware, nothing to mess around with. I'm sure the deck did it too. I never saw it. I never heard about it. It was never on the screen for me, and it certainly never booted to a BIOS to update like this. Again, just making a note. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's worth looking at. So the BIOS is still upgrading. Now, anything can catastrophically go wrong here. Fortunately, I'm hooked to power, but the average guy may not be. I'm sure the BIOS will say if you're under 20% of battery life, you can't upgrade or flash. And then what does the average user do? Going back to the viewer's observations there. Sorry, I'm trying to get my chat window back where I can see it. Let's see. What do we got? My experience so far has been awesome. If you want easy, go buy the deck. I sold mine for this, and so far it's awesome. That's from Epic Vlogs. Love this, by the way. Most other lives and streams out there are not going through the entire update process. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I understand this is boring as hell. All you want to do is see how well Forza runs, right? But you can go to 100 other channels and see that right now instead of sitting here suffering with me through the BIOS update. It even said it was the only time it happened, only because I was an early system owner. So Six there, how did you get a hold of one? Now listen, maybe you run a really big YouTube channel, and bless you for taking time to come to my little one here. I'm dying to figure out how everybody on the planet seemed to have one of these before I did. And I'm not talking about great YouTube influencers. I'm talking about Joe Schmuckatelli seemed to have gotten this before I did. I'm waiting on my Ally as I pre-ordered, and Best Buy is like taking forever. I thoroughly follow Discords and Reddits, not privately, thankfully, related to the Ally. Yeah, Yeah, hopefully you don't need any help with your Steam Deck the last couple of days for 48 hours because the deck subreddit's dead. Although I got a lot of free time back by not having to peruse that. I had two phones all set up to get my order in. So, but the unit didn't release publicly until today. You've apparently had it for a while. How did you get it before everybody else? That's my point. I mean, today is launch day for the Ally. Thousands, if not 10,000 people got this before launch day. I'm just curious. I want to get in on it. I want to know how people are getting in on this stuff too. Um, had two phones all set up to get my order in. Yeah, I mean, I got my order in like right away. But as far as I know, even people who were getting it shipped to them should be getting it today, unless there was some mix-up in shipping and people were getting shipped early. I don't know. Wow, that BIOS upgrade's taken a while, huh? Always, I tell you what, BIOS and flashing hardware, it goes back to the Nintendo DS days, right, Chris? Back to holding that toothpick wrapped in aluminum foil, hoping to flash that thing without screwing it up. Oh, you got it today. Somebody said they had it ahead of time, like before today. I thought it was you. I apologize. Maybe that was somebody else. Um, maybe it was McWaller that had it earlier. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just curious how. I mean, listen, I don't profess to be a cutting edge, bleeding edge channel or anything, and Asus is certainly not reaching out to me to plug their products. But a lot of people that that honestly probably shouldn't have had one before I did had one. That's just one of those, sour milk, I guess. I ordered the Best Buy two phone thing was for the deck. Yeah, the deck day one too, sure. Toothpick, right, Alex? Boy, the old days. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If will somebody find my Nintendo DS video and paste a link into it in here? My flashing video. I upscaled to 4K recently. Um, now you're talking about being inconvenienced. A lot of people, it's people who whine about having to install third-party lockers on the deck. They need to spend some time trying to flash a DS with a toothpick and tinfoil. It won't seem quite as bad. It's all just a matter of perspective. What did David Bowie say in Labyrinth to the term "it's so unfair"? You use that so often. I wonder what your basis for comparison is. If you think that it's hokey pokey to install the EA launcher on the Steam Deck, then you need better comparisons. Okay, I'm waiting. It looks like we've got Windows. It hasn't transferred control over to the Windows graphics system yet, so we don't have anything into the Elgato yet. There we go. Oh, good. I'm back to 7%. I got a lot done, though. I find it interesting, however, that the BIOS upgrade was in the middle of a Windows upgrade. Now I understand what McWaller was talking about. By just doing the Windows upgrade, you get all of that. I've never seen a BIOS flash in the middle of a Windows update. I am intrigued. So we will continue the process. Now, what I'll do with this video, once we're done here, and yes, I will put some games in and we'll check it out. Once we're done here, I'll pull the video down. I will go in. I will do the standard edits. I'll chop through the long parts, compress them down, tell you how long they took, so that we have, something comparable. Just wondering. Oh, I guess I forgot that the audio is going to be moved out of the deck because it's HDMI. I was like, hey, where's the Windows startup sound? Yeah, the Canadian price. It's funny. Originally, I had mine set to ship, but then I realized, if I have it shipped, maybe that's not the right plan. Maybe I should pick it up at the store because you're going to have maybe that 1 or 2 day delay if you don't pick it up in store. So I changed it last week to pick up in store. And then I was afraid that by doing that, I called in the configuration gods that would delay it even more because I made a change so close to the day. It's cheaper actually, or maybe not as much taxes. I know that they pay a lot more in Europe. Boy, the VAT tax is crazy. The screen on the device. So we haven't had an opportunity to look at this like side by side with the deck. The screen has like zero light bleed. which is something that they get huge props for because my Steam Deck does have light bleed. It's not a lot. It's not enough for me to complain about, but it is there. The display is crisp. It's legible and readable. Is it one of those things where I'm gonna have to put the deck right up to it and put Steam side by side on both systems so that we can get a full, move the ship out of the asteroid field so we can get a clear transmission. But yes, it is better. How much better remains to be seen. Okay, so let's see. Now I know why they wanted a pin. Your pin isn't available. Interesting. Okay. How about my fingerprint? Can I just pick that? Nope. Okay. All right. This is one of those. Boy, I got to change my picture, don't I? But Lee Majors is looking rough in that picture, too. Okay. I guess you can't see. Why is it fuzzing out like that? There we go. Tracking. Good Lord, people. We spend all my time doing this. I'm like logging in at work. Grab my phone. Fun or what, huh? Security code. I'm begging to set up the Steam Deck. Apparently it doesn't work, so we're going to have to do it again. I thought the idea was if I register my fingerprint, I wouldn't have to use a PIN, but Okay, once again. You guys saw, I set this thing up before. It is not playing nice. Yeah, something to do with the BIOS change up or something. Might expect more bugs until the updates are done. That's fair. I want to be fair. See if I can better align the screen there. Choose if you want to keep signing in with your face or fingerprint. Yes, sign in with my fingerprint. That'd be great. More Armoury Crate updates. Good. Let's get the updates going. Oh yeah, don't worry. I'm going to set Windows up to auto login. And I'll probably be logging in as administrator, which I know all the security things. Bad boy. No admin. No root access, certainly no auto login. But I do know that for my personal handheld devices, I will certainly not want to be logging into Windows every time I pop the power button on this thing. So we're going to have an upgrade here. So I guess while we're sitting here, yeah, what else can we do? So what about the Windows updates? Do we have any more of those pending? And I'm not going to worry about that for now. I guess we'll let this just finish. It's almost done. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Fine. That was weird. Updates. Roly-poly updates. Updates. Eat them up. Yum. Only the elderly amongst my peer group here will get that reference. Okay. More installer. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is crazy. I expected some semblance of installation woes, but this is pretty heavy. We'll let it sit here and chew. So next up, we're going to get Steam up and running, I believe, and then we're going to launch something that would, well, I have to install something that would drag the machine down. We may have to save that for another time. So why not be thinking about, while we're going to finish this up here in the next probably 10 or 15 minutes, what else do you want to see that doesn't require that I install 150 gigabytes of software? I can tell you right now that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is going to be the first non-Steam OS friendly that's going to go on here. And so you'll probably see videos of that tomorrow. And I'll probably put a couple of lockers on here tomorrow. Probably EA and Ubisoft, because that's where I have secondary software installed on. So let's see. So the Steam Deck requires no installation, all out of the box. Yeah, kind of. So you must have missed it. I kind of talked about this earlier, but obviously we're busy here. Um, yeah, so Steam Deck out of the box, you turn it on. It asks you to set up your stuff, your name and your country, blah blah blah. Then it does a download, couple 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how fast your internet is. 5 or 6 minute install, reboots, and you're done. So 10, 15 minutes. Let's say 15 minutes, top to bottom. We've been here an hour and 15 minutes. Take some time off for the unboxing. So yeah, from a how fast you can set it up and play it, definitely a bit on the quicker side. Let's see. EmuDeck exists for Ally. Yeah, EmuDeck is called the Desktop Edition. That's what you're playing on the Steam Deck. EmuDeck DE. I used to think it was Germany for some reason, but DE is Desktop Edition. So yes, you can get that for this, and yes, there will be a video on that. I didn't do an EmuDeck video for the deck because billions of people already did it, and I didn't think I could bring anything new to the equation. In this case, I think I can offer something different. Okay, so we've got, let's go ahead. Oh, game profiles. You know what? We're not going to set up game profiles yet. Pull down to refresh. Interesting. Why is my screen blank? You guys see the screen's blank? Why is my screen blank? Huh. Must not be mirroring or something anymore. Interesting. Okay, that's fine. I see we have more updates to do. I may do that on my own. Um, Yeah, so right now you can't, I don't know if you can see it on the preview or not, but on my big monitor, you get that sort of, there's that little ghosting effect on here on the letters because they're so small. Obviously, I could go in and play with that. It also is probably outputting my screen to 1440p. All sorts of different reasons why that could be the case with that where you may not see it in a smaller monitor. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and bring Armoury Crate back up because this is apparently where we're going to be living from now on. I'm going to run Steam. We're going to log in. Now, this should all be Windows stuff. See, here's more crap that just showed up, right? This wasn't here. This wasn't here before the update. So when I say that Microsoft Windows injects things that they're like advertising, what's the summer learning crap? The summer learning is probably somehow brings you back to a Microsoft product or advertisement of some sort. So Alex, who I don't know if he's still here or not, yeah, 15-minute setup, hokey pokey for life. I don't know. Listen, Windows has plenty of hokey pokey. Do I need to get off? I've been told my hour is up. This was supposed to be a quick unboxing, so it's all fair. I didn't realize it how much and how long some of this stuff would take. I am curious, though, real quick. Let's go to display settings and see what. There we go. All right, I just hit. Oh, Steam Deck. Okay, so it's completely taken over. I should be able. I wasn't really planning on setting this up, but okay, hang on, real quick. Arizona. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I've actually got. I don't need. I'm on Ethernet. I'm good to go. All right. So let me go ahead and pop that QR code. I just reset up my phone too, so everything's a little bit hokey. All right, cool. Yeah, sign in. Remember the device. All right, so now we actually have something that looks apples to apples like the Steam Deck that we can look at, and I will unplug it from direct feed here, and we'll look at the Steam Deck side by side for the screen. Tap any button or tap the screen to continue, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whoop, nope, there we go. Hey, it looks like a Steam Deck now. Nice. Okay, well, there you go. Now it looks like the Steam Deck. But unfortunately, as you can see off camera here, the HDMI has overtaken it, so I don't have a mirror mode right now. So let's see, what's my best way to do this? Let's just go ahead and dump out of Steam. And let's see if I can get that second screen mirroring. That's what I'd like to do, is mirror. Multiple displays, show only on two, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of weird why that other screen is completely off. It definitely shows both of them. strange. Well, something to play with. And again, we could indeed have something to do with these updates that are still pending. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Um, yeah, I think the remaining updates is what I'm going to do. But I did say before I left that we would bring up Steam on both devices, and you guys could see the screen difference. So let's do that. I got to be fair here. Let me get the deck up. Okay. I don't know what the deck is up to, but it's acting weird. Maybe I'll do a fresh boot of this guy. Oh, good. I get all my notifications. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I realize this is not going to be super great. I'm going to get rid of some of my lighting here that I had prior to. There we go. So now maybe we can actually see these guys side by side. I'm going to pull the plug on that feed. Boy, yeah, you're not going to be able to tell anything. So I'll do my best to describe it to you. So let me go ahead and bring Steam up over here, providing that actually worked. Yes, I know there's the shortcuts and all that. I'll get to those eventually. I'll remember them. We have so much more to do. It's just ridiculous. See if I can kind of get a good look at it with the lights off. It's not trying to focus on other stuff, so you get kind of a good look at it. Okay. So here we go. A little side-by-side action. Again, you're not going to be able to tell crap off of the screen. That much is obvious. Definitely richer, deeper colors here. I have my vibrance set here, which I know I can do some more work there. Yeah, definitely the reds and Sons of Forest, definitely better. Again, I've got vibrancy turned on. So, you know, obviously I'll have to play with, you'd have to play with the saturation to see if you can get those to match. We'll do more of that later, I promise. I'm going to go ahead and get off of this. We've been here for a while. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe. We're going to do tons more Ally videos. I appreciate you guys a lot for sticking around for over the hour. I thank my family for putting up with it for more than an hour. And we will, oh, I have no light here. It looked like ghoulish. We'll get back to this, I assure you. I have no opinion to render at this point. Not enough time. I'm not going to give you a out-of-the-box knee-jerk vote on this guy yet. Give me some time to mess with it, and we'll get back to you. All right, I'm Shane R. Monroe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.